COVID clusters come ahead of China's busiest travel season. We are just weeks away from the start of the Spring Festival rush, and COVID may have a big impact on New Year plans once again. Jonathan Kao is the managing director of BCD Travel of Greater China. He joins us now from Shanghai. So Jonathan, as we mentioned, we're still a few weeks away from Spring Festival, the busiest travel period there. What is the outlook and what are you hearing and seeing there?
That's right, Elaine. So in the last long weekend, we just had the New Year long weekend. The total number of visitors on the road, that was 86 million. It was down about 18% from the year before. It was down across all transportation method like rail, car, and air. So air dropped by far, was just 26% down. We're seeing some travel bans between provinces across China right now, but individual travel still remains quite flexible. So for the outlook of the Chinese New Year, as you know, it's coming up in a few weeks. It's one of the most important time of the year for us. We're expecting that the government will promote the message of spending the New Year where you are to decrease mobility and traffic across the country. But we're still going to expect about 200 million people that will be on the road going back to spend some time with their families, mainly going back home. So I don't think there is going to be a lot of international travel happening.
Right. You know, it is all about family, and some people look forward to this all year. It might be the only time they'll see their family all year. But what are the considerations? Are people, I mean, you said people are still going to be traveling. Are they buying tickets? Or are they considering canceling plans? Will this look a lot like last year's Chinese New Year?
Definitely so. So we've had, as you said, mentioned before, the CGTN clusters that is happening. The city has been on lockdown and it's recovering. We're seeing the numbers are dwindling, the new cases. You know, I think everyone is going to be taking precautionary measures as well on the road during and before the trip. So we're seeing advanced bookings of rail and air tickets. So rail doesn't start until about a week from now when you can start booking the tickets for before and after Chinese the Spring Festival. So we're seeing advanced bookings in the air, and people are making plans driving. So we do expect to be a busy Spring Festival, but definitely not in the magnitude that we had pre-COVID times. Similar to last year, I think 200 million people is the expectation right now.
Another big event coming up, of course, the Beijing Winter Games. That's coming up shortly after Spring Festival. No foreign fans, but what are you expecting as far as domestic fans traveling in? Do you expect to see any impact there for people really wanting to get a front row seat at a lot of these big events?
Yeah, so I think, so we just had, in addition to the Olympics coming up, we just had the Harbin Ice Festival also started yesterday. However, because of a lot of restrictions from the schools, so we're not expecting a lot of families with children, especially small children traveling. So for the Beijing Olympics, it looks like that, well, it will start on the 4th of February. It looks like that there won't be any spectators allowed. It's going to be a closed event. It's isolation for the safety of the athletes and also the working team. So I don't think there'll be a lot of traffic going into Beijing, and also there are restrictions around that. I think the government is taking precautionary measures and making sure that the event is a success without causing any situation in the society itself. And then shortly after the Beijing Olympics, there will be the National Congress meeting and the CPPCC conference in Beijing. We call them the two meetings. That will also happen shortly. So we feel that the traffic to and from Beijing would not be quite too much in the next few months coming up, because that is a priority, is to make sure that everyone is safe.
All right, a lot to look forward to there, Jonathan Kao. Thank you so much for joining us from Shanghai.
Thank you.
China State Councilor and Foreign Minister